To me, I was on Pittsburgh radio earlier, Mike, and I said the Steelers are basically the Packers of the AFC. And if Aaron Rodgers is going to leave the Packers, if he really is going to do it, and I'm not sure he's going to, I think he's that guy who's on the edge of the high dive. I remember being the kid who was on the edge of the high dive. And are you going to do it? You've been talking about doing it. You've been saying you're going to do it. You're out there on the edge of the high dive. Are you going to jump, or are you going to go back down the ladder in shame? I feel like that's where Aaron Rodgers is right now. After all this time, is he finally going to jump? He's on the edge of the high dive board. Is he going to do it? So, and look, he's made it clear he's going to make an answer and let us know what it is by now. I thought we'd know by now. We're 9 days away from the start of free agency, 7 days away from the unofficial start of free agency. The tampering's already happened. Yeah. Everybody out there is looking for a quarterback, is waiting to see what he's going to do. He's holding everything up right now. And so, who knows? I've detailed all this at PFT. I'm not going to belabor the point again. But when the news came out Friday night that he's truly torn, and I'm like, truly torn between what? We don't know what other teams he's actually considering. It became apparent to me through people who contacted me in response to that post and said, here's the deals that are kind of in place. I mean, it's all been worked out behind the scenes without the Packers being involved. There's a menu that Aaron Rodgers is going to choose from, and it's likely going to be a team from the AFC if it's not the Packers. And the teams I've heard are the Broncos, Steelers, and Titans, or the Packers, and he's just got to make a choice at this point. It's not Green Bay or not Green Bay. It's Green Bay or some other team.
Okay, so I got a question to ask you, but I'd also be interested to know what this offer was to Aaron Rodgers. That's supposed to be some incredible offer, which they would need anyway if they were going to keep him. He has, a $46 million cap hit? Only Matt Ryan, I think at 48, has more. We know nobody's playing on that type of a cap hit. So, and we hear the Denver Broncos, are the ones most interested, and we talked about other teams. What's the assets for this? What can Denver? I mean, they got a second and a third for Von Miller. It's not like they have 5 first rounders. So what's the capital going back to Green Bay for Green Bay to say, yeah, this makes a hell of a lot of sense for us to trade Aaron Rodgers?
This is where it gets a little bit delicate, because last year when he decided to keep playing, I remember when we saw the terms of his revised contract, my first reaction was, that's all he got? He had this credible threat of retirement. He decides to keep playing, and all he gets is a reduction in his contract by 1 year. He's not even going to be a free agent in 2022. They're going to hold his rights. And someone explained to me, look, the idea is they didn't want to get a compensatory draft pick in 2023. They wanted to be able to trade him for something in 22. And I don't think it's going to be 3 first-round picks plus type of a thing. I think the Packers are going to be reasonable in their expectations, and I'm of the understanding, based on things I've been told, that through Rodgers' agent, these deals have all been worked out. That if he goes here, there's a deal. If he goes there, there's a deal. If he goes there, there's a deal. And it's not some ungodly amount, because Rodgers isn't going to want to tie the hands of his next team and have them give up a crap load of assets that makes it harder for him to be competitive right away. I mean, he probably thinks he's earned the ability to walk away unfettered with not much trade compensation at all going to the Packers. So I think at the end of the day, it's probably not going to be something astronomical if they are truly honest about this kind of wink nod that they did last year, that after we get through 2021, if you still want to leave, we'll facilitate your desire to move on, presumably without a huge ransom tying to whatever someone who may be interested gives up to get you.
I personally don't think he's going anywhere. And I think this new deal, what are they, about 29 mil over the cap? This new deal will definitely knock his cap number down, so that'll give some relief. But they still have more to go. I know Bakhtiari and others have got their deals restructured. So I still had said, I mean, it's got to be about Super Bowls, right, Mike? I mean, okay, does he not feel the love like he did in Green Bay? But he also knows how quarterbacks are thought of. And I know he's this, cerebral guy and thinker. And I don't care. He's a quarterback who knows legacy is tied to Super Bowl wins. Okay, let's get down to it. I don't want to hear the philosophical stuff or side of this. he understands that and knows that he has one Super Bowl in the time he's been there. I mean, they had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, two walk-in Hall of Fame guys, and he's got a Super Bowl for it. So to me, I still think he stays there. I think that's still his best shot to win a Super Bowl. I do not think it is with the Denver Broncos, even though, I know we'll talk about it. They're going to get Von Miller back, but I don't think Denver all of a sudden gets vaulted to the top spot in the AFC if Aaron Rodgers goes there. They're certainly a hell of a lot better of a team, no doubt about it, and could be right in the mix. But do we think if Aaron Rodgers goes, let's get back to gambling, goes to the Denver Broncos, where are they from the odds makers? Where are they from the big buildings in Vegas? All of a sudden, are they the favorites in the AFC? Are they the fourth best, the fifth best, the third best? I wonder where they would be put.
Hey, Mike, I look at it very simply. If Aaron Rodgers is thinking about adding to his legacy, and let's say he steps back and he's disconnected from all teams, and he's looking at his potential destinations, the Packers are the most attractive. They're going to own that division again. The Bears have a new coach and a new GM. The Vikings have a new coach and a new GM. The Lions are in year 2 of their latest reboot. They're going to own the NFC North. They're going to potentially be the number 1 seed easily in 2022. That's your best play, not the AFC. You don't want to go to Denver and deal with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Now, I know Aaron Rodgers is wired to embrace the competition, but come on, if you're looking for the best place where the deck is going to be stacked in your favor, you're going to Green Bay. You're not going to Pittsburgh and dealing with the Bengals and the Ravens and the Browns. You're not going to Miami if the Dolphins are on the radar screen. You got to deal with the Bills and the Patriots. If you're looking for the easiest path back to the Super Bowl, it's the place where you've always been. It's the place where you're comfortable, where you know the players, where you know the head coach, where you go through the minimal amount of disruption and change in your life. And that's probably why he's torn. He has set this up where he can, if he wants, walk away. And now, Aaron, are you going to do it? Are you going to walk away? You've gone through all this trouble to put yourself in a position. Like I said, he's climbed the ladder. He's walked out to the edge of the board. He's bouncing the board. He's ready to jump. He's done all of that stuff. You're better off going back down the ladder and trying to get a Super Bowl. So I think he should stay. I hope for our purposes he goes, but I think for his purposes he should stay.
And how about the guy who kind of set the trend of leaving? 2, in fact. Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay, they win the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford goes to LA, they win the Super Bowl. What if you go somewhere and you don't win the Super Bowl, and 2 quarterbacks just did it in 2 previous years? And you are obviously one of the great quarterbacks who is going to walk into the Hall of Fame. But what does that do? What does that do for you when the last 2 years quarterbacks left, and one of the GOAT in Brady, but then Stafford does it as well. So I'm with you. I don't think he leaves. I think his best shot, they'll have a great record in the North. They could have another great record to be a number 1 seed. We know that hasn't worked the best for them as of late, but it's still, I think, the best shot for him.
Yeah, they could be looking at number 1 seed for 3 straight years and not getting to the Super Bowl for 3 straight years. And you mentioned Brady. I still think he's going to end up with the 49ers when this is all said and done. Me too. I know that topic's not on the rundown. You're on board with me with the 49ers?
Yep, I agree.
Found somebody finally?
Yes.
Good.
I'll go with you on this one, Mike.
Yeah.
God help me. That should screw me on Twitter now. I just went with you on something.
But it's right there. It's just right there. And I think it's just a matter of time before he makes his power play subtly behind the scenes to get to San Francisco, which raises the stakes for Rodgers if he changes teams, because Brady changes teams again, and here he is with a potential Super Bowl winner, and Rodgers jumps over into this morass of the AFC where he's going to have a hard time standing out the way that he does with the Packers. I hope he stays. If Brady's with the 49ers, I definitely want Rodgers with the Packers because I want those two to meet in the playoffs at some point, divisional round or championship.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.